As much fun as it was to run a server cluster on these very old and very slow laptops, what might be more fun and maybe good for my sanity is not doing that. I have plans for Proxmox Server Cluster version 2. I am yet again driving unreasonably far all the way to the city to buy computers. Thanks Facebook Marketplace, let's go meet a random stranger and give them money.
Exactly the same model. We bought a whole pile for the business.
Oh yeah.
And we just did a refresh, so I'm just going to be working on a 5th one.
I did not buy the 5th computer, but I thought since I'm in the city, I'll go check out the local thrift stores. If you ever need a cheap but technically functional monitor to test something quickly or interface with a server, Value Village had this entire collection listed for like $8 to $12. I also found some vintage speakers I thought looked pretty cool for 20 bucks, and then some absolutely peak fashion, as well as some stuff that might fall out of the sky, but then I went back out to the parking lot to see what my computers look like. Mission successful. I now have 4 computers. I'm gonna open one of these right away because I wanna know what storage is in here. Never mind. And that would be 4 Dell Optiplexes for $50 each. And that's Canadian dollars, not freedom dollars. Taking a quick look at these things, they are extremely clean. I don't know exactly how much they were used, but it was definitely not in a dirty environment or anything. These things look pretty good. Each system is running a 250 watt power supply, as well as some kind of old 1 gigabyte AMD video card. Not sure exactly what that is, but they've got 4th gen Core i7s, as well as a DVD drive and, unfortunately, mechanical hard drive. But we'll fix that. The one thing that is varied between the systems is the memory. This has 8 gigs. So does this one. This has 12 gigabytes, and then this one actually has 16 gigabytes, which that's pretty solid. I want to turn one of these things on. Let's get it plugged in. I plugged all of them in. Aside from some Windows updates going on this one, all of them seem to work. And of course, this was the first thing I was going to test. These two systems with their cursed 900p resolution are getting like 30 FPS, kind of, almost. This one in 1080p, yeah, it's only getting like 18. Those little AMD GPUs are really not all that powerful. I know this isn't necessarily an accurate way of determining how long these have been powered on for, but we can look at the smart data of the hard drives because they are the original drives. This one has been on for like 4.5 years, 3 years, 3 years, and then like 4 years. Not that bad considering these are like 10 years old. One more thing to test here, Cinebench on all 4 computers to find out, number 1, how fast are the CPUs, and 2, how consistent are they between all of the computers. Well, the consistency is not looking bad. 761, 755, 752, and 743. All roughly in the same area. The numbers coming out of these Core i7-4790s these things have are pretty on par with the Core i7-6700, which is pretty impressive considering that CPU is 2 generations newer. They're also only like 50 points behind an 11th generation laptop CPU, so these things will probably trade blows with a laptop from 2020, despite being made in 2015. Time to see what these things can really do. Out with the old hard drive and in with an SSD, and I'm sticking a full-size RTX graphics card in here. Why not? No matter what I do, the setups always end up looking like this. You know what? It's perfect though. Let's turn this on. Oh, it's real upset. Not only do the graphics look night and day difference here, this is so much better. It's also getting like 88 frames per second now instead of like 24. Who would have thought an actual graphics card would be better? Wii U emulation with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess also seems to work totally fine on here. No issues. Very demanding game here. This is The Last of Us Part 1 running in 1080p on the high preset, and it's getting like 70 to 75 FPS, which is pretty solid for how old this computer is. I guess we can conclude that if you throw a good enough graphics card at one of these old 4th gen i7 systems, you will get a good gaming experience out of it. I am kind of curious now though, how much can we get out of the old AMD GPU that came in this thing? And what even is this? I'll save you some time. Everything I tested ran very poorly. The card is an AMD Radeon R5 240. It was made like 10 years ago and it was not made for playing games. It's bad at games. And that is the Optiplex 7020 experience. Let me know in the comments what you would do with 4 identical computers. Subscribe, I'll have a new video next Thursday. Probably, I was late 1 week, but don't worry about that. They're coming. Bye.